Hey everybody. I just kind of wanted to talk about raising your happiness levels on a day-to-day basis. So I know as an adult, um, most of us go to work. So, you know, it's taken me years and years to get to this point. But when you go into the mindset of enjoying every single day, um, at work, it helps you mentally. So, in other words, when you wake up and you have to go to work, don't go, oh my god, I gotta go to work. Oh my god, I hate my job. Oh my god, I hate everybody. I don't want to talk to them. Because I used to be that person. And my advice is to not do that. So, if we work full time, we spend 8 hours a day with, the people that we're working with. If you hate them all, that is a lot of your life that you're spending hating, okay? That's a lot of your life you're spending unhappy at work. I go to work, and I have fun at work. Why? Because of my coworkers. I talk to my coworkers. I love my coworkers. I do. I talk to them. They're my friends. They're my buddies. I love them all. I enjoy them. I like spending time with them. I like to conversate with them. Because when you talk to people, it creates connection, okay? And connection and bonding over a conversation and words, getting to know each other every day, creates love. And love makes life worth living, okay? And if you don't have any love in your life, then you're not really going to be happy, okay? I used to be like this. I have a whole journey, okay? A whole journey I've been through. I was suicidal at 22, okay? I wanted to kill myself. I really did. I really wanted to fucking kill myself. I was very unhappy at work. I hated everybody. I was just like, I wanted to kill people. I was a mess. I was a mess. And, I thought getting into a relationship at that time was a good idea. Absolutely not. I thought that would fix my problems. Absolutely not. Okay? It only created more because I rushed into it with this new person, this stranger, and we just weren't really even compatible. And that's all there was to it. Plus, he was younger than me and, stuff like that. At 22 years old, okay? And I'm 27 now. So, just to put that into perspective, okay? At 22, I was suicidal. I called my mom, said, hey, I want to move to Hawaii because I want to fucking kill myself. And I'm going to fucking do it if I don't do something crazy. Because I always wanted to move to Hawaii, so I was like, why not just make my dream come true? Why not just fucking do something crazy, make my dream come true? Because at the time, COVID hit, okay? COVID hit, and I was like, well, I guess I'll just go there with, first I had $1,500, then I bought the ticket to Hawaii, which cost $300 because it was during COVID. I was a lucky girl. So I went there with $1,200, okay? No place to stay lined up. I had made an ad on Craigslist prior to that, and I was like, hey, I need a place to stay, pretty much. And put a picture of me and said I need somewhere to stay in Hawaii. That's pretty much what I did. And then I would get texts from people going, hey, blah, blah, blah. And, I didn't really have a place lined up still. They were wanting rent, and I was, like, asking them questions, stuff like that. I don't know. I just didn't find one. So I went there. I went there with no place lined up. I got to the airport, and I remember I just looked at the scenery, and then I started crying. And then I called my mom, because what else are you going to do at this point? And I was like, Mom, what do I do? I'm not even joking. That's literally what the fuck happened. And she was like, you need to call your aunt and see if she has any friends that will let you stay at their house. Because my aunt knew people in Lahaina, Hawaii. So what I did was I called my aunt and I was like, Auntie, can you find me a place to stay in Lahaina, please? I'm so scared, I don't know what to do. So what happened was she got a hold of her friend Anne. So Anne is this lady that when I was little, we lived in Hawaii, so I grew up in Lahaina. So this was a lady that I knew as a little girl, okay, from like 2 to like 6. And I used to play with her daughter when I was like 6 and her daughter was like 4 or something, or 2, I don't know. I think that's probably about accurate. And we used to be like playmates. And that's why she let me stay at her house. It makes sense. I wasn't a total stranger. In other words, I was a little girl that grew up and needed help. So she decided to help me. So I tried hitchhiking, because that's what my aunt told me to do. I couldn't find anybody. And then, so there's this guy from Craigslist all the while texting me saying, hey, I'm at the airport, because I guess he was going to pick me up because I needed a place to stay. Because the original plan was for me to go with him, but I was honestly a little scared of him. So I was like, I don't know you, and I don't, I'm just a little scared. But he ended up finding me, and he rolled up in this weird-looking car. Like, it was like it was kind of like a cartoon. It had, like, spray paint all over it. It was like a company car with spray paint. It was like a ghetto Hawaii spray painted car. And then it had this horn, okay? He horned his horn, and it sounded like a cartoon. I swear to God. When he pulled up, it was like a fucking cartoon. And I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? And he's like, hey, you new to Hawaii? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, get in the car. And I was like, okay. So my intuition told me to trust this guy. And, well, it was right. Always trust your intuition. If your intuition says something's off, don't trust it. But it told me everything was fine. The guy seemed friendly. Everything was fine. So I was like, okay. Got in the car. We went to the gas station. I think he got some gas. And then we started going. And I was like, hey, instead of taking me to your house or whatever, could you take me to Lahaina? And he's like, well, that's not the original plan, but I'll do it. So he drove me like 2 hours, thank God, to Lahaina. And all the while we were talking about his business, because I noticed he had a business car. And I was asking him, I was like, hey, do you own a business or something? Because I saw you had like a business car. And he was telling me that he had owned a business. And he was like, he was a business owner. And he did like helicopter rides for tourists and stuff like that. So all the while we were going on this journey to Lahaina, he was explaining everything about like the ocean and how the whales and dolphins were coming out because it was mating season. And like I just remember it felt like a welcome to Hawaii angel in a way. I don't know. That's how I can explain it. I mean, I don't know if he was an angel, but he definitely was my angel. Thank you. So, and this guy, now, I wasn't creeped out the whole ride, except for one time, I said something about big wheels on a truck that went by, and he's like, oh, you like big? Oh, no, he said, does it turn you on? And I was like, no, not really. And that's really the only thing that was kind of iffy about that whole situation. But he's a guy, whatever. Old man. But anyway, he was very helpful. He was, I think it was like a spiritual thing, Like he came to help me, and I gave him $50 after the ride was over. And I remember looking at the sunset while the whales were going. I was like, wow, this is beautiful. And I was like, thank God. And the whole ride was 2 hours, but it felt like 20 to 40 minutes. It didn't feel like long. I don't know why, but it really, I guess because we were yapping the whole time. But yeah, thank you so much for helping me. I really needed it. I was suicidal. I didn't know what the fuck to do. Thank you. So anyway, I got to Lahaina, and I remember seeing Anne. I went to her address. She came out, and she's like, hey. And then she told me I looked the same from when I was little. I was like, oh my god, really? Because I don't think I look the same, but I guess she does, so that's cool. And I just found that very interesting because, well, I don't think I look the same for some reason, but apparently she does. But I went in her house, she let me stay there, and then I remember we had a conversation, and she told me that it was the beginning of a great transformation for me. And for some reason, that wording felt really spiritual, pretty much. And I was like, oh, okay. This video might be long, by the way. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm just talking about my story. Learning how to be happy. So, I had this whole spiel, okay? I'm gonna tell you the whole fucking story because honestly, I deleted the video I did last time, so I'm gonna tell you again. So, this one's gonna be better. So anyway, why is my cat? Just shut up. Sorry, my cat. Anyway, I'm so sorry. I said it was gonna be better, and then my brain just stopped working. Come on, ADHD. Stop. Anyway, I spent the night there, and she said I could only spend one night there. So I was like, great, what am I going to do tomorrow? So the next day comes, and, we were talking, and she said I could spend another night if I needed to. And I was like, okay, thanks. Even though, I know she didn't know me very well, but I was like, I don't know where the fuck to go. So what had happened was another guy texted me from Craigslist, and he told me about this hostel. Okay, and guess what? This hostel was $500 a month, which is very cheap, mind you, especially for Hawaii. And it was in a great area. And guess where it was? Lahaina, Hawaii. Guess where it was? Right down the fucking street. That's right. One street away. Affordable, one street away, right when I fucking needed it. You can't tell me that's not divine timing. You can't tell me that's not a fucking angel. I'm not a religious person when it comes to picking a religion, but I do believe in good. I believe in a higher order. And I definitely know that was a fucking divine time, divinely timed thing for me to protect me. And this isn't the first time that's happened in my life that I've done something crazy and that's happened. But anyway, you can't tell me there's no fucking angels in this world. Well, anyway, sometimes it's people you know. Sometimes they just are, God's working through these people, okay? God is everything. That's the truth. God is all that exists. And I gotta be honest with you, it's fine. God might not be completely good because God, if you think about it, is the creator and the destroyer. It's the truth. There is no life without death. It's the same spiel. And, I love God as a whole, through the good, through the bad. And I know God loves me. God has protected me. You can't tell me there's no fucking God. I know for a fucking fact you are full of shit. There is a God. And if you don't fucking believe me, well then do something crazy. Because I bet you never did what I fucking did. And if you feel the way I felt, maybe now's the time to fucking do it. And believe that something good will happen for you. Even if you're scared shitless when you get there, even if you feel like things are going wrong, it will happen for you. It's just the way it is. If you deserve it, it will happen for you. And if you don't deserve it, I don't know. I don't know anything about that. But did I deserve it? I wasn't the best of people at the time. I wanted to kill people. Okay? I wasn't the best person, but God still helped me. And I did a spiritual awakening journey there. I'm going to tell you guys. So, I'm going to make the long story short. Okay. There, in the hostel, there was 17 men, all from prison. I've been through some shit in my life, bitch, let me tell you. All from prison. Some of them were sex offenders. Some of them were giant men. I didn't know if they were gonna rape me. I didn't know if they were gonna hurt me. But I lived there with them. I sure did. And guess what? Nothing happened. Other than some guy masturbating a few times. Well, a few different men, but whatever. That's what people do. They masturbate. I did it too, bitch. Whatever. I'm not even joking. There's no privacy in there. What are you going to do? Just not get your rocks off? Whatever. They could have been quieter, yeah. But at the end of the day, whatever. Fuck you. Well, anyhow. So, anyway. I'm not lying, by the way. I didn't do it at the same time, by the way. I'm not that kind of fucking freak. But anyway, when I heard that, it freaked me out. But I'd rather them masturbate than rape somebody. Fuck. Anyway, so literally, I got there and I was like, oh my god, great, I'm gonna have to live with a bunch of men from prison. And at first I didn't know they were from prison until I kind of talked around, and I think this guy told me, this young guy that was there, he was like 19, he was Hawaiian, he was nice, he was kind of my guide, I guess, when I got there. There was Brandon, I remember him, he was the angel that was sent to me. I loved Brandon. He was this drunkard, okay, but he was always a happy drunk. Always, always, always a happy drunk, and I just loved that. He just had a good energy, like a big brother energy, and I honestly fucked with that. He's definitely a sweetheart, and honestly, I hope that he's okay. I hope that he is, healed from whatever issues he had with his baby mama and his kid. I don't know what was going on, but he was always a happy drunk, and he was a sweet man. As far as I'm concerned, he was a sweet man. He helped me. He helped me find the hostel. He sent me that message. And I remember when I met him, I remember he was a smiling, happy face. And I was just like, thank you so much. I was so grateful. I was literally so grateful. You don't know, you don't understand how grateful I was. And I'm crazy. I think that's something that we've already figured out. But I'm fucking crazy. Anyway, so I gotta tell ya. Living in that hostel, okay, I thought there would be no other women. Well, lucky for me, there was one old woman named Heidi. When I first said hi to her, she didn't say anything, so I wasn't sure if I liked her. And then this other lady who didn't quite live in the hostel, but it was like a side house that was still part of the hostel. It was just a more private part of the hostel. I guess they had to spend more money because her boyfriend lived in there. And she was real nice. I forgot her name. But she was really nice. I liked to talk to her. She was sweet. And Heidi, I hope Heidi's doing okay. So Heidi was the old lady, okay? Later on, I think it was like 2 weeks later, I found out that Heidi had a daughter. And this is where the story starts getting good, okay? Because her daughter, her name was Kali. And I'm going to tell you something. Prior to when I went to Hawaii, and I'm going to tell you something, okay? I'm psychic. And I'm not just saying that. So prior to when I went to Hawaii, years and years prior, I remember, I asked God, I was like, God, I want my soulmate. And I'm going to meet my soulmate in Hawaii. This was years and years prior. I said this, before bed, while I was imagining things before bed. That's what I do. And I said, I'm going to meet my soulmate in Hawaii. Her name's going to be Kali. That's literally, I chose the name. Okay, I did. I said she's going to have blue eyes. She's going to have light hair. She might have glasses. She might not. And she's going to be really into, like, spirituality and manifesting, okay? And then I also said I wanted a model, too. So that's where this other girl comes in, because there's two girls that I ended up meeting. One was a model, and then this other girl, Kali, I mean, she's a beautiful girl, too. Don't get me wrong. I mean, they're both beautiful, but, I got what I wanted, just in separate ways, in separate directions. They were both very spiritual people as well, so I'll get more on that. So anyway, Heidi's daughter, Kali, came to visit her mom, I guess every 2 weeks, because she lived with her dad in a separate part of Hawaii and her little sister lived with him, but she would come visit her mom because I guess her mom was homeless for a while and she finally found a place, which was the hostel we were all staying at. So she would spend the night at the hostel with us. So I remember when I first saw her, she looked, Kali, if you ever watch this, don't take this the wrong way. You were so beautiful and I love you, but the way she looked, okay, this is a good thing, by the way. She's a beautiful girl. But when I saw her, because I had never interacted with a blonde person before. So, she's a skinny blonde white girl. And I was like, oh my God. Because, I'd never talked to a blonde girl before. But in movies, they're always kind of like the bully and they're kind of preppy. No. I remember... I remember first talking to her, I was scared because I was like, oh my God, what is just gonna fucking hate me and make fun of me? No. She was so down to earth. I miss her. Collie, I miss you. Bitch. But anyway, I do miss her. I miss her so much. And honestly, she was so awesome. So anyway, I remember talking to her the first time, and I was like, oh my God, I love this girl. Literally, we clicked. That's how I felt. Because I remember talking to her, and I was like, this girl is actually so fucking cool. Because I had no clue. I'd never talked to a blonde girl ever. Not really. A pretty, small blonde girl, Girl, she was cute. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so scared. What if she's a bully? Because I had never talked to one like that. And, in movies, they're always the bully. I don't know. I didn't know what to expect. But I'll just say that. And she was the first one that I ever talked to. And she was so awesome. Okay, you don't ever judge a book by its cover. Just because somebody looks like a stereotypical... Oh, this sounds awful. Why am I saying this? Golly, no. If she ever watches this, she's going to go, girl, what the fuck are you talking about? It's a compliment. It's a compliment. Just trust me. But she looks, like the high school bullies and, But yeah, anyway, she's very beautiful. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so scared. And literally, I remember because she was so nice. And, we were talking about star signs and all that stuff. And then me and her mom started talking more. And I actually kind of liked her mom because I was like, well, I ended up loving both of them. But, at first my first initial interaction with her mom was I said hi and she didn't say anything back. So I didn't know if she was friendly or not, but me and Collie started yakking it up, and then her mom started chiming in, and we're all just bubbly, having fun. And it was great. I loved both of them. They were both so awesome. And, Heidi's story was sad. She was homeless for a while. Heidi's the old lady. And then, which is her mom. And then Collie, I don't know, man. Collie told me some personal things, but I'm not gonna talk about it because that's not my fucking place to tell the internet about that. But, anyway. What was I saying? Anyway, we ended up being really good friends. She was pretty much my bestie there. And then, I think a month later or something, there's this other girl that pops up. Meanwhile, I got a job and had a threesome with 2 random strangers from a dating site. Don't ask questions. I got 2 jobs, by the way. A henna tattoo artist and a Starbucks barista. And then I was making good money. But anyway, and then, a month later, this other girl shows up. This is the model, okay? She's a beautiful girl, but she was a literal model. She actually modeled for, I think this yarn company, I believe she said. She was, South Korean. She had tan skin. She was very thin, very, she's beautiful. And, yeah, she was, one of the happiest people I've ever met. She's so bubbly. Wow, you're really really bubbly. She was so bubbly. Like, I can't tell you how bubbly she was. She was a bubbly girl. Like, I really mean that. She was a bubbly girl. She was so pretty, bro. And, like, honestly, they're both so beautiful. Like, they're both such beautiful girls, and I miss them so much. And they never met each other. And that's the worst part. They would have loved each other. I already know. Because I loved both of them, and they were both into spirituality and manifesting just like me. And, like, literally, they were both so awesome. I just love them. Jesus. I miss them. They're so cute. But anyway. But yeah, Collie never met Sydney. So Sydney was her name. Sydney, and I forgot her last name. But I remember Collie's last name. But I'm not going to tell you that. That's none of your damn business, bitch. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway. And yeah, I ended up meeting really cool people there. But then I ended up leaving. Was there romance in my life at the time? Yes. Was it with one of the girls? Maybe a little bit. But I'm not going to get into that. But we didn't make out or anything. We kind of just cuddled a little bit while we were talking. I don't know. It was gay. Just trust me. And I almost spent the night at Collie. It was Collie, by the way, not Sydney. Collie. But Sydney, she was looking at me while I was masturbating, so I don't know if that counts. Oops. Because I think she knew. But she didn't say anything, so whatever. Anyway, plus I was like, girl, why are you looking at me? But anyway, so Collie, me and her were talking outside of her mom's new place, because she got a new place after I was there for a month and a half. And we were talking, and like, I remember, like, I'm not going to tell you. That's a secret. But anyway. But we were outside, and we were, like, cuddling a little bit, kind of. Well, she was holding me. And it was gay. Just trust me. Bitch, you're not going to hold me for an hour and it not be gay. Not me, bitch. Because I liked it. Okay? Like, for real, girl. Anyway. Sorry. I loved her, and she's an attractive woman. Like, yes, please. Thank you. But, you know. Nah. Anyway, look, they're good memories, okay? They were. And I love her still. I miss her. I haven't talked to her for years. And I hope she's doing okay. There was a fire in Lahaina 2 years after I left. And I don't know what happened. I hope she's okay. I hope her mom's okay. I hope they're all okay. I genuinely do. I hope everyone I met there is okay. And even the people that I barely knew or didn't even get to meet. Because that's awful. And it could have been me in that fire. It really could have, but something told me to leave. So I left. That's the facts. And it was like 2 months in, I left. Because, first of all, there's giant roaches in there. No thanks. No thanks, giant roaches. And the masturbating guy. Because they ended up moving me to another room with these other guys that I didn't want to live with. And I was like, no. And then I just left. And then Sydney left right after I left, so, yeah. But, anyway, long story short, I know I've been through shit, okay? And I know that divine timing is real, God is real, angels are real, miracles are real. They are. They've happened to me many times. And I fucking know because I've done crazy shit and it manifested. Faith, even if you're not sure if it'll happen, okay? You don't have to keep believing, but just have faith that everything's going to be okay. That's my advice. Don't be terrified and go, oh my God, everything's going wrong. Well, I mean, you can do that, and it'll still happen, because that's what happened for me. You don't have to stay positive the whole time. I wasn't. I was fucking petrified when I got there. Are you kidding me? I was scared. You don't always have to stay positive to manifest positive things. You don't always have to stay positive to manifest angels and miracles. No, you don't. That's the truth. People are always like, stay positive, stay positive. You don't have to. Just be hopeful. That's the word, hope. Have hope and believe in something good and higher than yourself. Because it happened for me. And it will happen for you. That's the fucking truth. And if you don't believe me, then do something crazy. Because it'll happen. I know it will. It's happened to me. I've done crazy things 2 or 3 times. On that level of moving to Hawaii. On that level, yes. Twice I left. Not to Hawaii, once was to Colorado. It's a different story, but that was when I was 19. 20, 21, 22. That was 3 years later. You see, I'm a little crazy bitch. But anyway, miracles happen both times. Right when I needed them. You can't tell me that's not a fucking miracle. You can't tell me that's not a fucking divine timing, because it is. Period. Anyway, my point here is, I've been through shit. I've had negative things happen to me. And in order to stay positive, you gotta learn how to love. And that's what this trip to Hawaii taught me. It taught me to talk to people. Because life doesn't really have much meaning if nobody loves you. How's anybody gonna love you if they don't fucking know you? They don't talk to you, how are they gonna love you? Talk to them. Hi, how are you? How are you today? I missed you. Okay? You can do it, bitch. Just say it. You know, and don't feel weird when you talk to people, even if you stutter. Because honestly, that shit's cute. I remember there's this guy that stuttered. He was cute, though. He was cute with it, and he was a sweet guy. So I liked him. He was a sweet, sweet man. So he was always helpful, and, you know, and it never bothered me. Don't ever worry, you know, if you're nervous and you stutter. Nobody gives a fuck. Just do it. Do it scared. That's my advice. Do it fucking scared. Because I did it, and it really taught me some things about myself and about the world around me, about God, about miracles, about trusting yourself. It taught me all kinds of stuff. And I can teach you through my word and my lessons that I've learned as a human being on this planet Earth. I have to tell you that miracles are abundant. Life will give you what you need when you need it. If you do not receive it, then you do not need it right now. Okay? You don't. You're not ready. No, you're not. You might think you're ready, bitch, but you ain't. Period. It'll come when the time is right. If it is meant for you, then it will happen. The end. That's the end. Anyway. So anyway, talk to people. Talk to your coworkers and do it with love in your heart. Don't be a hateful, nasty bitch. Be a loving person because you will feel so happy. And that's what's important here is happiness. Because happiness and love and the will to live go together. You want to learn how to be happy in life? Love somebody. Love somebody and let them love you. Be kind. Be friendly. Hi, how are you? It's that easy. Just do it. I don't care if you were a bitch in the past. Just do it. Be nice. Try to be nice. Start a new job if you have to. I've done it many times. And I gotta tell you, I've had all kinds of different personality types, and I don't give a fuck. And I gotta tell you, if you get weird vibes from somebody, don't be their friend. That's my advice. Always trust how you feel. If somebody makes you feel bad, don't be around them. Talk to somebody else who makes you feel loved. That's my advice. But yeah, be happy in your workplace. Because you spend 8 hours a day there, maybe 12. And you're going to not be very happy unless you fix your mindset and fix your social life. Your social life we're very social creatures. You might not think you're a social person, but once you actually do it, you're going to understand what makes life worth living is love. I said it. Love makes life worth living. And if you don't talk to people and you hate people because you don't talk to them, you're not going to feel happy. You need to love people. You need to talk to people. Don't worry about how they perceive you. Don't worry about anything. Perceive them. Love them as you perceive them. That's what I do. I love everybody as I perceive them. Why? Because that's just how I perceive them. I'm happy to talk to them. That's why. Because they're sweet. That's why I like them. Maybe not all the time, but I'd say the majority of the time, especially if we're at work. You know, work bitch's attitude comes out here and there. Me too, bitch. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, love each other. And you will be happy and want to stay alive. It's that simple. Your social life has a huge impact on your mental health, your mental well-being, and your spiritual happiness state. So please like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for listening to my story. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope maybe I taught you something, because I've been through a lot. If you have any questions, please ask. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Or also if you have anything to share with me about yourself. Goodbye.